Hello, so today we're doing an ombre set for a wedding. My beautiful client got married yesterday. So we're starting off with the prep. I've left this all in real time. I have trimmed out any excess, but I just thought it would be really good for you to be able to see how quickly or not quickly I work. And I am pretty thorough on the prep, so I'll go around at the initial, at the start with my cuticle bit. That one was from Willow. Then I go in with my cuticle scissors. At that point, I've lifted all of the cuticle up, so I'm using the cuticle scissors to nip any excess cuticle off. These scissors are from Nailed by Lucy and absolutely love them. They've made it so much easier to cut cuticles on clients. Obviously, you only want to cut anything that's dead. And to help that, you can use acetone. If you wipe the area with acetone first, it'll very clearly show you what's dead because it'll go kind of white and dry. So once you've nipped all of the cuticles, then you're going to go back in with either a ball bit or kind of a more rounded bit, and this is to smooth off the cuticles. I'll come back in with that in a second. So this bit is from Kirsty Meakin, I believe. I'll put the links for everything down below. And it's lovely. It's really gentle to exfoliate anything from around the cuticle area. It lifts it up again. I always like to try and lift it up because that's all real estate that I can get product on. So, and the more you get on that, the longer your clients will get out their nails. You'll get less lifting. If this area is clean, it'll help with lifting and everything. It's such a valuable bit to have. Then my next step is to etch the nail plate. So I'll just make tiny little demarcations. If you'll notice, I'm just kind of going in zigzags up and down. I'm not going backwards and forwards in the same spot. If you do that, you're probably going to smooth the nail plate out, meaning that your nail isn't going to last as long. I've tried to get right down the side walls there and right into the cuticle. Again, really, really important to make sure that entire nail looks matte. I'm using a very gentle hand as well. You only want to just slightly mark the top of the nail. Once I've done all that, I will go in, I will cleanse the nail plate with my Young Nail Swipe, which so far I really, really enjoy using. I've already applied my tips, and then what I'll do is I'll go in with my Young Nails Protein Bond. Now I am going to trim these down, but I quite like applying the clear layer beforehand because it means that I've got a really sturdy base when I want to file and shape my tips. So next I'll apply my clear layer. I do this on pretty much all sets I do, reason being that you get a lot better retention with it, and you'll see I'm working quite thin. I want that to be a thinner base as possible because obviously I still need to build on top of that. So for my ombre, I will go in for a start with a bead of my white. I'm using a softer white here because I was using a really soft pink. And it makes that blend really, really easy. These colours went so well together. And what I want to do is I want to feather the kind of the top where the middle of the nail is. I want to feather the top of that bead back towards the cuticle. You can either do it by turning your brush around and feathering it backwards, or here I'm just tapping the bead and it just softens it a little bit. So when you put your bead of nude over the top, it looks clearer. What also helps with the feathering is adding a little bead at the tip of the nail and feathering that back again. It softens that blend over the middle of the nail where you're going to put your nude. So I will show you this on all nails so you can see as I go along, and again it's a real-time application, so you'll see kind of how the beads apply, how they blend, all that kind of thing. And I'll be back shortly when I go in with the nude. So here I'm applying a bead over the blend. If I do that, it kind of softens that blend and you shouldn't be able to see it. I've drained this bead a little bit more as well, so hopefully that'll cover the blend even more, and then I'll fade that back a touch there. If you'll notice, I'm just going back a little bit, and that means that when I put the bead over the top of it, that one there, you shouldn't have any shadowing, which I didn't. You want to tuck that cuticle bead into the cuticle and then blend that down the nail. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to record the capping, but after I'd done all this, I did cap every single nail in clear. You always want to do this with your ombre because it'll protect your blend that you've worked so hard to achieve. And then once you've added your clear, you're going to want to file, shape and buff, and then add your top coat. Now you'll see the final set in a moment. It was a wedding set, and on the ring finger I'd actually done some flowers. Again, I didn't manage to catch these on camera, but if you want to see the 3D flowers, let me know and I'll do a separate tutorial for them. Thanks for watching today, guys. Have a lovely day. Bye now.